Here's the breakwater. When I do my ice runs out to that beacon in the distance on the left, I usually start here, which means I have to cross the ice right up here to get to the rocks. We won't be doing that today. I'm not in shape enough to run the rocks, and the ice isn't thick enough. About 2 years ago, I was coming back from the lighthouse along this shoreline, and just when I was over by those trees, I heard a scream. And as I rounded the corner, I saw a woman emerging from the ice right here with her cell phone held up above her head. Another failed attempt at a selfie. I was really worried about her because it was just as cold then as it is now. 13 degrees, wind chill near zero. She insisted she didn't want any help. She was totally drenched, toe to foot, and already icing up. So I stayed on the upper trail and followed her all the way back to her car, where she just barely made it. It was 2 miles from here. You can't mess around out here. About 3 weeks. I think I'll be in shape enough to run the rocks. I won't go out there unless I got a good chance of coming back. Today we're going to try and do some balance training on the Superior entrance breakwater. Whoa. That is quite a challenge. Getting out to the end of the barrier, especially when she's all iced up, which she isn't right now. Here we are coming on the beginning of what I call Ann's Beach, named after a friend of mine in Colorado, who the first time she saw one of my videos from out here, she said that she could just live on this beach. So every time I come out now, I get to think of her. But as you see, it is one beautiful remote place. There's some bald eagles up in the tree. There's one getting up. I spend a lot of time out here hunting the ducks and the coots that are still left behind, and also getting the fishing scraps from the ice fishermen in the harbor. Beautiful. Seen as many as 10 out here at one time. Would have been a perfect day to do the breakwater, but I'm just not in shape. Now we come onto Ann's Beach, one of the most beautiful spots out here because it is remote. When I run this beach in the summertime, occasionally you'll find a beautiful sailboat anchored right off the beach, and a family spending their day on the beach and swimming. And when they're done, they swim back out and off they go. So pretty. Right in this area, after a major storm about 4 years ago, the ribs of an old sunken ship were exposed from the sand. Just amazing. About 3 years ago, I was cutting through these trees and I came across a grave. I assumed it was for an animal, maybe a dog, but I'm not sure. And then a few weeks ago, I just happened upon it again as I was trying to get some extra miles on. And somebody had been there and tied some ribbons and burnt some candles and put a few clay engravings with the initial M on it. Just beautiful. Well, we're coming up on a steel breakwater that designates the superior entry of St. Louis River into the Duluth Harbor. I like to run it for balance training. It also provides mental focus. The only time I don't do it is when it's covered with ice. That icebreaker that we saw earlier entered the channel on the other side of this barrier. Getting hot now in the sun, putting on the miles. Just beautiful. Those ladders are your only escape. If you mess up when you're running for balance training on the barrier. There we are. Over there's Wisconsin. These are loading docks. And now we do some balance training. Never fails. Almost every time I run this barrier, we come across the carcass that an eagle has left behind. This isn't snow or ice on top of the steel. That's seagull poop. Most of the seagulls are gone now, but that stuff will stay on there year round. You got to pay attention to which way the water's flowing. It changes day to day depending on the prevailing winds. Right now the ice flow is going away from me. So if I should happen to fall in, I'm going to swim in that direction to the ladder next there instead of trying to fight the current. Of course, what I'm going to try to do is fall onto the rocks instead of the water. for anybody who's interested, Wisconsin Point Lighthouse is what it's called right there. Just absolutely beautiful. And it is for sale to a non-profit only, under the condition that the non-profit maintains the warehouse, the lighthouse, and provides access to it. That's the key. Why nobody wants it. Because access to that lighthouse is only slightly better than the rock run I do on that barrier to get to the beacon out there. Just the insurance alone will probably kill you. But if I was one of these crazy rich people that are taking over the world, there's a duck head. Seemed like it would be a noble thing to do with my money instead of giving it to criminal politicians. Okay, I gotta start focusing now. Doing too much talking. I'm gonna fuck up. Just beautiful. I'm going to stop right here for a second so we can see Ann's beach one last time. And that's Duluth in the distance. And the road up to Canada goes all along that coast. 120 miles north. Maybe we'll luck out and the icebreaker will come back. Now you can see on this side the flow is going the opposite direction. So I'm going to swim that way. Focus. Focus. Got the wind in my face now. Wind chill's getting up there. Gotta stop and get dressed. These loading docks are just the beginning at the harbor entrance. There's dozens and dozens of them by the time you get up the St. Lawrence River in Duluth. Whoa! I guess I'll have to cut that one out. My wife won't like that. Look what we got up here. Cold, cold duck all by himself. Usually that's an indication something wrong with them. That's actually a goose. A very sick Canadian goose. Should be gone by now. The eagles will find him. He's probably wounded. Else he'd have flown. I too, as a young man, used to shoot waterfowl. I'm not shooting anything anymore. Too old. Animals are too beautiful. When you're young, you're getting started with a new family, and you're making $3 to $5 an hour, which is where I started. Meat in the freezer is, from hunting, was the only way you got through the winter. Up ahead you have grain elevators. These loading docks, the trains actually come from land out on top of them with iron ore, salt, all types of minerals. From there they get pumped onto the ships. One of my favorite runs is to continue along the coast back to the airport. But today we're going to cut into the woods. Take a trail back. Just gorgeous. There's an eagle out there. Another one. It's waiting for sick ducks and geese. See you next time.